This is chapters 101 through 105 of 14 Ways to Die. 101. The messages and comments come thick and fast, mainly from psychos, idiots, and trolls. There are some from people who genuinely want to help, from people who saw the Left Behind standing side by side and felt compelled to contact me. That's what they say, that something compelled them to send me a DM or a tweet that tells me nothing I don't already know. Did the bus have a security camera? Maybe someone followed her. Could it have been an ex-boyfriend? When did your mom and dad get together? I wonder how many more have contacted the phone number given out on the news. I think about calling Lorraine, but if they had an actual lead, she wouldn't tell me. I spend 2 hours reading the messages quickly, deciding which to delete and which to keep, and just as I'm about to log off, a new one arrives. Hi, my name is Clara. I know something that could help you. That's it. Short, sweet, and vague as hell. Nasty people can't hide their nastiness in their writing. Idiots can't wait to get to the punchline, and trolls are angry and full of swears. Perverts quickly shift from pleasantries to demands. But this girl is different. She knows something, or at least she thinks she might, so I set up a new account, one only I have access to, then reply, Hey, it's Jessica Simmons. Thanks for contacting me. I'd love to hear what you have to say. No demands, no suggestion of a meeting that might scare her off. I stare at my screen for 10, 15, 20 minutes, feeling increasingly anxious until she replies, I'm probably being stupid. 20 minutes to write 4 words. At first I feel angry, then I wonder if this is a catfish situation, and then I realize there's no choice. I reply, Maybe it's nothing, but you wrote to me for a reason, and I would really like your help. Another 15-minute wait until she says, Okay. Chapter 22. Her name is Clara. This is the only information I have about her. This girl is a mystery, and I've seen enough of those to solve already. She won't meet face to face, and I don't blame her. She wanted to do this online, but I want to hear her voice. I need to hear the gaps between her sentences, and when she takes a breath, and how she says every single word. I sent her my other number, and now, almost 24 hours after her first message, Dad's phone starts to vibrate. Hey, I say. Hey. Thanks for calling. She doesn't reply, so I say, Do you watch the show? Yes. She sounds young. I wait for her to say something else, and when she doesn't, I say, I know you're worried, but anything you think might help us catch him could be the clue we're looking for. Still nothing, which makes me trust her, because she's genuinely scared or nervous or both. I got a lot of messages after the last show, I say. Yours was the only one I responded to. She makes a noise and then takes a breath and says, I shouldn't. You can tell me anything, Clara. It's just me and you, and I'd rather hear what you have to say. She sighs and clears her throat. I saw you on the news. There was a man talking about his mom. That was Ross. His mother was killed by the Magpie Man. Another intake of breath, and then, Why do you call him that? My dad called him that. The newspapers found out, and now everyone says it, like Jack the Ripper. I hear what sounds like crying, and I say, I'm sorry, I really appreciate you messaging me. She's quiet for a while, blows her nose, and says, It was so sad. Seeing all those people together, it made my mom cry. I feel glad that it did its job, and wonder how many others were brought to tears by the sight of 45 people staring blankly into a camera, their stories recounted one by one from Dad's to Francis Banks, from my mother to Lorna, and the 12 in between. She held me real tight, Clara says, like she does whenever something sad happens. She doesn't know what I saw. No one does. I hear quiet sobbing, and I whisper, It's okay. Whatever she thinks she knows, it's big, and my heart races because maybe we finally have a witness. I don't want to scare her away, so I sit listening to her cry until she says, Are you still there? Yes. I know his real name, Clara says. What is it? I ask, but she doesn't reply. I leave a gap for her to fill, first with sniffs and whimpers, then a whispered, I'm sorry. Don't be, I say. Where do you live? Close. Close to what? Close to me? I shouldn't be forcing information out of her. I should be patient, but I need to know. Can you tell me who you're talking about? I ask. I wrote it down, she whispers. I wrote it all down and was going to send it to you, but I couldn't. That's okay. I can feel my heart pounding, and I am desperately trying not to push her too hard. Are you talking about the Magpie Man? Do you know his name? The phone goes dead, and when I call back, she doesn't answer. After at least 20 attempts, it goes straight to voicemail. Call me back, I say. Please. But she doesn't phone or reply to my messages. Whatever she knows, she is too scared to say it out loud. Whew! Here we go. 103. I usually don't pay attention to the younger students, but today I'm watching closely. I watch every girl who passes me, looking for any suggestion that one of them is Clara. And when they see me, they either smile or make a face or scuttle away, freaked out by the weird 11th grader staring at them. Excuse me, you can tell the ones who watch my show and the ones who don't. The ones who smile at me think they're making friends with a celebrity. The others think I'm picking a fight. What are you doing? Hannah asks, and I tell her about Clara. That's exciting, she says. I shrug. Not really. I don't know anything about her, and she's not answering my calls. She's disappeared. Hannah watches me staring around the courtyard. I know an easier way. I look at her until she smiles and says, Shirk. I don't get it at first, but then I do. Because the teachers have this program on their computers, Student Information Record Keeper, or SHIRK, to record us and keep all our information in one place. It literally knows everything about everyone at the school, and if Clara goes here, she'll be in it. The problem is teachers rarely leave their laptops unguarded, and when they do, they lock them. If I want to see if Clara goes to St. Anthony's, I need to break a pretty big rule. 104. When I tell Emily my plan, she scowls and says, no fucking way. Why not? If you get caught, we'll both be in serious trouble. There's some really confidential information on there. On my page, under special notes, it says, Mother is deceased. It's a warning to new teachers to watch what they say. I saw it once over a teacher's shoulder in 6th grade, and I hated it. 3 words, all in capitals, a reminder that never loses its sting. Imagine what it says about everyone else, Emily says. Humphreys will go ballistic if he catches you. He won't catch me. Emily shakes her head and says, I love you, Jess, but I'm not getting expelled for you. I think you're overreacting. I think you're overreacting. Some girl says she knows the Magpie Man and then disappears. It's probably the same person leaving the articles. Or it's really those 10th graders messing with you again. I don't think so. Well, that's up to you, but this is too risky. She stares at me, doing her best impression of someone responsible, and I say, fine, I'll do it on my own. I start walking away, even when I think this isn't working, until I hear her catch up and groan. If we get caught, I'm blaming you for everything. 105. Theology hasn't been the same since Mayfield Lodge. We should be sharing private jokes about the place, going off on tangents as we reminisce about Andrea and Saffron and Reg, laughing about the kangaroos and smiling about the prayer room. We should love Mr. Humphreys even more than we used to for telling us about his son. Instead, no one talks about it, and that only makes it more obvious. Maya eventually admitted she was the one who brought the liquor, and she got a 2-week suspension. Sometimes there's a whispered recollection, but it's quickly snuffed out just in case it offends Bernie or reminds Mr. Humphreys of the night we let him down. But today I have other things to worry about, and from the look on Emily's face, she's just as scared. The class drags on, and 10 minutes before the end, I talk myself out of it. But I have to know if Clara goes here. Shirk has all our photographs. It has our addresses. If I'm right, if Clara is right, I could finally be closing in on some answers. When the class ends, we leave like normal, only I wait in the hallway, my back pushed hard against the wall, hiding in the corner as my classmates walk the other way. Emily looks back, waits until the hallway is empty, then screams. Mr. Humphreys is out the door quicker than I expected. I slip inside and run to his computer. I push a button, but the screen is locked, the password box empty, asking me a question I can't answer. I hit enter, even though I know it's useless, then stare around the classroom, wondering how much time I have. There are more noises outside, and I hold my breath, trying to figure out if the voices are getting closer or further away. But I can't waste this. I might not get another chance. His lesson planner is on his desk, and I flick through it looking for words that might mean something, or random letters and numbers he can't possibly remember. There's too much in there. Pages of notes and reminders and names. It could be any of them. Except, I think back to Mayfield, to what Mr. Humphreys told us that night in the prayer room, and I type 6 letters into his laptop. Oliver, and hit enter. He has Shirk up. He has my page up. I'm shocked to see my own face staring back at me, but I don't move more for a moment. Then I look for the search function, my heart pounding so fast I'm sure it will give me away. When I find it, I go to first name and type Clara before pushing enter. Nothing comes up. Not a single person at St. Anthony's has that name. Fuck, I whisper to myself. I tried again, but it's useless. If Clara is her real name, she doesn't go here. I've been so focused that I don't hear the footsteps in the hallway until it's almost too late. It's only when I hear another shout outside, a warning, that I quickly type my own name, hit enter, then step away from Mr. Humphrey's computer as he walks into the room. Jessica, he says, did you forget something? Holding up my lanyard, I say, it was under my chair, sir. It should be around your neck, he says, walking behind his desk and closing the laptop without looking at it. Sorry, see you next class. I just caught your best friend making a scene in the hallway, he says. Oh, I couldn't sound guiltier if I tried. He picks up his planner, turns a few pages, and looks at me. I should go, I say, and Mr. Humphreys holds my stare until I feel uncomfortable, refusing to look away until his next class starts to arrive, and I can escape.